She's calling me. Guess I'll slide away. I've got to feel her touch most every day. She's warm and she's wild, calls me her child. I warm to her touch. She's my mother ocean. How I love.
Thank you. Okay, so we are very thankful and very appreciative of you all coming, but also of our county representative Beth Tokioka and Kaua. So please give them a warm welcome and their patience and endurance here on a Saturday.
All right, aloha everybody. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm learning a lot. I'm really, really happy to be here. I wanted to start off today with a note about Surfrider. I wanted to really thank Carl and Surfrider because we learn a lot about marine debris, and we're learning a lot about these issues, and there's a lot of people studying it, but the people on the ground doing the heavy lifting are people like Carl Berg and Surfrider. And they are cleaning our beaches constantly. We really, truly appreciate it. And one of the things a couple of years ago, Carl, when this discussion started, Carl came to me with a unique issue that they were cleaning our beaches, and it was really difficult for them to dispose of any debris that couldn't be recycled. So they had to basically take it to the transfer station, and they were being charged for it. And that was per our ordinances, that unless it's residential debris, you have to pay a tipping fee to dispose of it. And he pointed out that really was not a good thing for anybody involved, and not very incentivizing for the nonprofits doing the work. So we started that dialogue, and it took us a while, but our good friends in the solid waste division, headed by Allison Fraley, really felt that the right thing to do was to find a way to allow them to dispose of this free of charge. So in December, the county council amended our solid waste ordinance so that now nonprofit organizations can get a waiver for the tipping fees. And you just have to, thank you. It took us a while, Carl, but we did it, and I'll call it the Carl Berg amendment to the ordinance. But so there's a process. You do have to get the waiver signed in advance. I have some forms here for anybody who would want them. Otherwise, I'll give them to Carl because I know he'll use them. And if you have any questions about that program, you can call Allison Fraley, and her number is 241-4837. And again, thank you to Carl and Surfrider for helping to move us along on that one. It was way overdue, and we really do appreciate what you do. So today I want to talk about marine debris, but I want to talk about one very specific piece of marine debris and a story that I feel is pretty incredible. So I want to go back again to the beginning, and I want to thank Zena for the really nice poulet this morning. To me, the day of the tsunami, I was in the emergency operating center because that's where I am when we have emergencies, and I'm informing the media of what's going on. And so I was there all night long, and for 7 hours sat there and watched the images of the earthquake and the tsunami. And to me, it's always been just a very human thing and a very profound human tragedy. But so back again on March 11th, this is just showing you northern Japan. And there were roughly 20 prefectures in northern Japan that were really significantly impacted by the tsunami. And as was mentioned earlier, it was about 217 square miles and 20 prefectures, and 16,000 people died that day. 6,000 injured, and I believe 2,600 still missing and presumed dead. So again, a very huge human tragedy. So I want to fast forward now to January 18th, 2013. And this is a map that Nikolai prepared for me a few weeks ago. Thank you for that. So on this particular date and time, which is about 22 months following the tsunami, you can see where the debris field was. So it's made the turn and all coming back at us. There's something special about that date, and you may wonder what that is. Well, on that date, on January 18th, 2013, about a little over a year ago, a U.S. Navy ship off of Port Allen spotted a large yellow buoy that was floating in the water. It was about 2 nautical miles west of Nohili Point. So they pulled it ashore. That's what it looked like. Of course, all the gooseneck barnacles on it. And they immediately sent the information on the buoy over to Kerry Morishige, who's Kyle's predecessor at NOAA. And basically it was 15 feet long, 4.5 feet in diameter, weighed about 250 pounds. It had Japanese kanji markings, so there was a strong suspicion that this might be Japan Tsunami marine debris. So all the information was sent immediately over to Kerry. And on February 4th, we got the message back from her that the Japanese consulate had verified that this was tsunami debris. It originated from Onahama Bay. It was the property of the Tohoku Region Development Bureau of the Japan Ministry of Land and Infrastructure and Transport. And the buoy was set up in Onahama Bay, where the construction of a seawall had been ongoing. And the Japanese government verified that it was tsunami debris and that they did not want the item returned. So now the Navy has this in its possession. You can see here, I think they're checking it for radiation. There was no radiation. My understanding is that this is this was at that time the 21st confirmed piece of marine debris and the 6th confirmed in the state of Hawaii. So the Navy had this piece of debris. They didn't quite know what to do with it. There's a gentleman with PMRF by the name of John Berger. If any of you know John, he's a very, very staunch advocate of caring for our oceans and our beaches. He's the range sustainment coordinator for PMRF. And he sent this faithful email to me and said, give me a call. I want to talk to you about this buoy. He sent me some pictures. So I gave him a call, and he felt very strongly that this was a real opportunity to use this piece of marine debris to educate people about the hazards. And so his vision was we could use this to create a display somewhere here on the island of Kauai. So I thought that's an interesting idea. Okay, I had a lot of projects going. I needed another one like a hole in my head, but I said, okay, well, let me take a look at this. So whenever anything comes up with Japan for us at the county, some of you may know Art Umezu. He's our film commissioner, but he's also our resident expert on everything in Japan. So I sent all the information off to Art, and I said, take a look at this and let me know what you think. Okay. So first of all, here's a picture of Onahama Bay pre-tsunami. You can see it's a very, very busy port. And very close to Onahama Bay is Iwaki City. Kauai has had a very long-standing relationship with Iwaki City. There's a resort there called Spa Resort Hawaiians. It's a very, very popular resort in Japan. If you go there, you feel like you're in Hawaii. I haven't been there yet, but I will go someday. And it's very close to Iwaki City. And we'd been doing exchanges with Iwaki for a very long time. Oh, shoots. I had some other images here, they're not popping up. But basically, in September, so the tsunami hit in March of 2011. In September of 2011, Iwaki, because it was so close, it was actually very close to the Fukushima plant, and they were they were highly impacted. Their economy, their people were very impacted by the events at the Fukushima plant as well. So it was an area that was very hard hit. And so we decided to make them a sister city in September of 2011, about 6 months after the events. And after that, the mayor and a bunch of folks from Kauai traveled over there to Iwaki. They were having an event to try to revitalize the region, to try to bring morale up and try to help them move beyond the events. And so I can't pull it up here for some reason, but Art sent back to me, I don't know if you can help me.
I'll try while you're talking.
Art looked at all this and he sent it back to me, and he said, you know, I had no idea Onahama was so close to Iwaki City. And he showed me a picture, which is not pulling up here, but he had a picture of our mayor standing in front of Onahama Bay in September, looking out onto where the buoy had been affixed in front of that seawall that was being constructed. And, you know, at that moment, I had a real chicken skin moment that, you know, something very special had happened here. That's no problem. So anyway, again, just to show you where Iwaki City is. Iwaki is right there, and you know, it's kind of right in the center of everything. So at that point, I realized that there's something really amazing going on here. So I talked to John again, and his thought was, why don't we think about putting this display up at Port Allen? So as you probably know, Port Allen Shopping Center is where a lot of our tour boats originate from, and Alexander and Baldwin owns it. And so I reached out to Tom Shikimoto and told him what was happening and said, would you consider letting us put this buoy up in your shopping center and creating a display that would educate people about marine debris? And they thought about it. This was in March, so it was just a couple of months after we'd all kind of figured out what was going on with this buoy. And we found out that about 70,000 people go through that shopping center and onto boats, and so it was a great opportunity to educate people while they're in the mindset of how to care for our oceans. And so he did agree very quickly to help us with this project and to be the host. So this is the shopping center. It's this is kind of far away, but there are two main buildings in this shopping center if you've been down there, and right in the middle there's a breezeway. And there's a little corner of the breezeway right there that a spot was picked out for the buoy. So then we needed somebody to help us make this happen, because A&B wanted some kind of a group to be the steward of the display and make sure that it was always kept in good condition. So where do you go when you need help? You go to the Rotary Club, at least in my book. If you don't go to Surfrider for a beach cleanup, you go to the Rotary Club. So we went to the West Kauai Rotary Club and said, look, would you consider adopting this project? And if anybody knows Dave Walker, that's who I called. And he talked to his folks at Rotary, and they said, sure, we'd be happy to be part of this project. So at that point, PMRF really needed us to get the buoy out of their hands, so we got our fire department involved. They took the buoy, that's Dave Walker back there, and they moved the buoy from its where it was at PMRF over to A&B's storage facility at the shopping center. So our vision for the project was to, again, display the buoy, to do marine debris education, have a sign that would talk about marine debris education, and also would tell the story of the buoy, because we knew many people from Iwaki City. We'd known them for many years, and there was a real personal story and a really amazing story about this buoy and how it made its way across the ocean to us. So, but we knew we needed help with that, so we reached out to many partners, again, they're not showing up here, but we reached out to Surfrider. I talked to Carl about that, and he has given us some great thoughts and advice on what the marine debris education should state. And NOAA also was a great partner with us originally, reached out to them immediately, and they offered to help. So in October, so we had this in motion. We were raising money for it through the West Kauai Rotary, and we had a delegation of folks from Iwaki City who came over to visit for the Matsuri Festival in October. And we took these, they were Chamber of Commerce folks and official city folks, and we took them out there to see the buoy. And it was quite an amazing and quite an emotional experience, because it's hard to really understand what the people of Japan went through and how really tragic that was. I can't imagine there's anyone in Japan who didn't lose somebody in that terrible tragedy. And it was really amazing to see them in the presence of this buoy, really taken aback by it, and I think maybe taken back to those days. These pictures are a little dark, but you can see, I don't know if you can see here, they're standing out in front of the site where the buoy is going to be placed. And one of these guys is making a buoy. He's making himself into the shape of a buoy. They were very, very, very excited and wanted to be part of this project, and are really enthusiastic about it. One of the things they noted as we were looking at the buoy that day is this is the phone number of the company that put the buoy into the water originally. The prefix is 2:46. That is the exact time that the earthquake hit, 2:46 in the afternoon. So it was just kind of another chicken skin moment of, wow, this project was meant to be. And again, was quite emotional for them at the moment. So, I don't know, I don't know why my animation's not happening here. Because I wanted to show you what the signs look like. But what's happened is we've raised some money. There's going to be a base constructed and a little railing around the buoy. It'll be set up so that when you look at it at the shopping center, you're kind of looking out into the ocean. And there will be one sign that will be dedicated to marine debris education and talking about, what people can do for their part to care for the ocean. And the other sign is devoted to the story of the buoy and the sister city relationship. Dr. Maximenko was wonderful in helping us actually chart the trajectory and showing us in times on the actual trajectory where it was at certain places. It's a really wonderful image that's not going to pop up here, but anyway, you'll be able to see it once it's out at the Port Allen. So the signs have actually been. We just finished the design this week, and they've been sent off to Pennsylvania to be manufactured. And they'll be back here in time for a dedication in May. A delegation from Iwaki City, and I think some of our other sister cities will be attending as well. And again, we're just very, here's the picture. There's the picture of the mayor in September of 2011 looking out onto the where the buoy had been. And so we're very excited that this monument will be touching tens of thousands of people every year. Probably will draw lots of new folks to that shopping center, and I'd be surprised if we didn't see Kauai Chocolate Company coming up with some buoy-shaped chocolate or something. But anyway, it's been a really amazing project and journey for me and everybody that we've touched along the way and asked to jump in and help us. It's really been, I think, a special experience for them, and I hope you will all take the time to go out and see it when you can. It's really an amazing thing. Whenever I'm in the presence of this buoy, I get this very strange sense of peace and awe, and it's really something pretty amazing. So that's our story on the buoy. I don't know if anybody has any questions about it. Thank you. Make sure you come and see it in May.
Yeah, any questions before we move on? Any what? Sorry.
We've scheduled it right now for May 19th, and hopefully, I'm pretty sure our signs will arrive in time for them to be up and ready to go. So by the end of May, it'll be up there and it'll be ready for everybody to go and enjoy.
she's calling me. Guess I'll slide away. I've got to feel her touch most every day. She's warm and she's wild, calls me her child. I warm to her touch. She's my mother ocean. How I love her. Often she rages. It's anticipated.